Inspired podcast where we're inspiring you to live the abundant life you deserve. I got another awesome guest. We've been pumping out new guests every week, and it's just been an amazing experience with everyone. This time, I got you someone from St. Thomas University.
Right, right. St. Thomas
St.
University.
Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands, right? So I'm from St. Croix. She's from St. Thomas, and she's into the fitness space and building you fitness wise as well as physically and nutrition wise. So I brought her out here on the podcast. We met in 2019 at Carnival. If you don't know what Carnival is, you definitely have to experience it one time, whether it's St. Croix, Trinidad, wherever you go, definitely try to figure that out and get to one so you can understand what we mean, because it's a festival, a fete. It's just a
Correct.
party that never stops, right? So
Yes.
now tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
All right. So good night, everyone. My name is Chanel Molinar from the U.S. Virgin Islands, St. Thomas to be exact. So what do? I do a multitude of things. So I like to call myself the Jane of what is it? The Jane of all trades, right?
Okay.
So got a 9 to 5. I'm a compliance auditor, and then my side job or my hustle, my business, I should say, new to entrepreneurship, but I have a business called Sweat Pro Athletics, and what that is a holistic wellness space where I'm an independent contractor right now. And right now, I work with seniors as well as our younger community at LA Fitness. Um, so what we do is group fitness classes where you can come have fun. So there's a lot of people that are timid with the gym. They don't really work out because they don't know where to start. And then they feel like you have to be perfect. And I'll get into a little bit about that, my own perfect. So I am a group fitness instructor.
So how did you get into the fitness space, and what made you think, okay, I'm gonna do this fitness space, I'm gonna be a contractor and try to work my way into my own space? What made you decide to do that?
Okay, so my fitness journey or my wellness journey started in 2016. So 3 years of having a kid. And I'm like, I want a different me. I want something, I want to work towards something that people make or seem impossible. I've always been a dancer. I've danced ballet, jazz, African from the tender age of 3. So it's always been in me to be physically active. I played softball and I was a cheerleader in high school. So it's always been there. But to make it a business, it really started when people started asking me on social media with my own journey. Well, how did you lose weight? What can I do? What can I eat? And I always tell people, I say, everybody's journey is different. Yours may look different than mine. Mine may have some bumps, you may have some some hills that you have to go through, because we're different, and that's what makes wellness unique for every person. Um, so when people started asking me these advice type questions, I said, well, maybe I'm doing something to inspire, right? To
Yeah.
inspire
Hmm.
someone. So I was like, okay, consulting, everything ain't free, but let me, pay it forward and just answer these questions. And I said, well, what about a certificate, or a license to do this? I also have a background in medical assisting, so I've always been in healthcare.
Okay.
And I said, well, what about the holistic part? How can I make Sweat Pro Athletics a holistic entity? So not only do we do health coaching, we provide group fitness instructing, but then we have that consulting piece. So those questions that came about, that's what triggered, hey, let's make this a business. It took me a while to come up with a name, but I finally found a name that was very unisex, that was very inclusive. So that's how it all started, Sweat Pro Athletics.
So you say it took you a while to get to the name. So what? Tell me, how did you get to Sweat Pro Athletics?
Okay, so Sweat Pro Athletics, everybody's a pro. Everybody has that pro inside of them. And I don't have a picture of my logo. I should have sent that to you. However, my logo, if you can envision it, is a sweat drop with ripples underneath. So it takes just one drop of sweat of hard work, and that sweat drop can represent many things. That can represent hard work, that can represent sacrifice, that can represent nutrition changes, adjustment, everything. So it could mean something for you and something for me. So I kind of create it for myself, but then I'm like, people can use that logo or that idea and make it their own to motivate themselves.
Nice. I like the idea and I like the concept. I think you're onto something big and you
Thank you.
just got to keep going. I see
Mhm.
that one of your most watched videos was on Facebook where you was doing a group training. So how
Uh-huh.
was the feedback when you did that in LA Fitness?
So in LA Fitness, they're like one thing. One thing they're gonna say. I don't know if I can say this online, but you're gonna kill us. So the fact that people feel the burn, they don't look at my image, and I'll get to that in a second, and as to why I said that. They
Mhm.
feel the burn. They love coming back. And that was actually a substitute class. I subbed at a nearby gym and they're like, when are you coming back? So the feedback was great. It motivated me to keep going, to keep building Sweat Pro Athletics. I haven't even done a hard lunch yet. So this is kind of soft lunch with you. Just exposing Sweat Pro Athletics. But the feedback is great. I love teaching group fitness classes because it makes them motivated to work out. They don't get discouraged and they keep coming back. So
Okay.
mm,
So, how is it? I know one of the biggest things in working out is everybody says you got to be physical, you got to be physical. But it's 80% working out and 20% nutrition or vice versa. I don't know
right,
what it is. What
switch
is
it, switch it.
it?
So
What is it? Tell us about it.
so it's actually 80% nutrition, 20% exercise.
Okay.
Now, different days, different percentages, right? And
Yeah.
different people, different percentages. However, the standard is 80/20. You can work out every single day because you love it. But if your nutrition is bad, then you're really, I won't say working out in vain, because working out does reduce stress, great for heart health, all of those things, but the nutrition, the macro packed meals is what really matters.
Yeah.
However, you don't want to restrict yourself because you want to have something fulfilling. Good food, whole foods primarily, is a really good source of nutrition, but you want to have balance in what you eat. So
So, speaking about balance and having, do you have any advice for people who are working out and want to track their macros or want to watch what they eat? Do you like meal prep? Do you tell them anything about that? What do you do?
So I'll be quite honest with you. I
Mhm.
have seasons in my life where I'm very good at meal prepping, and then I'll have weeks where, because I'm a mom as well,
Yes.
and then everyone's busy, but you can't make excuses. So you have to find what works for you. And
Mhm.
for me, even if I go out to eat with friends, or if I happen to order out, because I order Uber Eats or DoorDash here and there, you can't restrict yourself, but it's what
Yeah.
you purchase. You see what I'm saying? So my advice for balance is that you do well majority of the time, so that when you enjoy yourself with friends and family on the weekend or a trip, that's not going to set you back. One day of treating yourself or 2 days of treating yourself will not set your whole journey off track. Now, if you're doing it every single day for weeks at a time, then yes.
Yeah. Like the person who wants to be, oh, I'm gonna eat pizza every Friday. And then on top of the pizza, I'm gonna get wings on Sunday because the football game is on.
Exactly. And then those are the things that so I lost 40 pounds on my own naturally. And I would say I was able to keep that off for a good 3 years. And I found that when COVID hit, mental health, we don't know what's going on in the world. You had stress, and then your personal life, you go through things that may set your schedules off and your routine off. And we're human, and that's okay. It's your response. What is your response to that stress? What is your response to that change? How do you adjust? Okay, you find what works and you go back to it. For me, I would limit carbs, or carb cycle, I would say, because you need carbs. Carbohydrates are those macros that we need for energy. Our body uses that first as our primary source of energy. So for instance, pasta, rice, bread, potato, that turns into sugar, and our body uses it as energy or fuel. So I tell people all the time, if you want to lose weight or just be healthy, you cannot not eat carbs. You need
Yeah.
it. What you could do is introduce what's called a complex carbs. That's your sweet potato, your brown rice, your quinoa, couscous, like all those types. just incorporate things that are new. Even if you have a texture problem or you feel like you won't like it, you have to try new things.
Yeah.
What one thing that I can tell people, I'm a sweet person. I like sweets. I love sweets. But we know that too much sweets could cause diabetes and weight gain,
Yeah.
right? So what I started doing was creating these alternative sweets. So protein muffins, or it's pumpkin spice season. I'm gonna make me a pumpkin spice muffin or a protein pancake. You don't have to stay away from things that you enjoy.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you hit on something really important because I don't think we pay attention to it as much because sugar is in everything.
Oh yeah.
And I was looking at a video earlier this week, and I'm not gonna name the brand because I ain't trying to get a lawsuit.
Right, right, right.
But in one cup of coffee that they sold, it had almost 128 grams of sugar.
And if you think of a gram, about this in a cup, an 8-ounce cup,
Yeah,
that's insane. That's
that's
insane.
and and we're not realizing that that's also contributing to your weight gain, your because sugar is one of the main things that helps
Mm-hmm.
boost your weight up.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people that cut out sugar and stuff like that see a tremendous change in their weight as
Mhm.
far as it goes losing weight.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, as it relates to sugar, there's alternatives. I now I don't like sugar-free things because the sugar-free substitutes aren't the best because they have other long-term effects as well. And you can do your own research on that.
Sure.
But agave or just a natural cane sugar is fine, just in moderation. So for me, I like pumpkin spice. I just mentioned that. So if I go to Starbucks and I get a cup of coffee, I get the plain coffee, right? And what I will do is one sugar in the raw packet. That's what I'll tell them. And then put the pumpkin spice cream as my milk. That's it. So whatever recipes they have already is full of
Hmm.
sugar, 50 grams plus. Whereas if you can control your sugar, then those things are not as bad. But if you can make it at home, that's even better.
Yeah. So I want to get into this because you alluded to it a little bit earlier and you said you're going to talk about your image. Tell me a little bit
Mhm.
about what you meant by that and
Okay.
what's coming up for you when that comes up.
Okay. So I'll start by saying being healthy and fit is not the easiest thing.
Yes.
You have to be determined, you have to be consistent. Consistency is, by all means, the most important thing that you can do on this journey. And physical health is linked to mental health. So I want to, and back to the sugar for a second, sugar also messes with your mental health. So I say that to say, when I lost that 40 pounds, it was feeling great, looking great. COVID hit, and then it was like we handle things differently. And
Yeah.
when I say my image, I want to be not just body wise, but be able to keep up on a run. Did my first 5K, but you want to be able to
Yes.
be the face of your business so that people could say, oh wow, she did this. I didn't say I wanted to be skinny the entire time. If people see you, oh, she gained 10 pounds and she lost it back. Or they see the natural journey. It's not like you're going to the doctor. Let me not say the doctor. If you're going to the doctor and getting surgery and things like that, a quick fix. A lot of people look for quick fixes. So for
Band-aid.
me, my image matters. If I'm 20 pounds higher in this season, they see me in my cut season. They see me when I'm putting in the work. They see that I can still keep up, and things like that. So at first it did bother me, but I had to own myself and own my business, and just people still ask, "Hey, how do you do it? What do I need to do?" And it didn't really matter to them that I was 20 pounds, heavier than 3 years ago. They
Yeah.
still respected me and my craft, and I'm good at what I do with my classes. So,
I'm happy that you share that because I was talking to someone and we have a tendency to become perfect. We think that people want the perfect version of us, but however, it's a journey. It's the way people
mhm.
connect with you. It's the
Mhm.
way people could see that, okay, she's gained weight and lost it. I could do the same thing. So
Yep.
it's really a connecting factor versus
Yes.
you being perfect.
And let me tell you, those people that, I mean, we all want some sense of perfection,
Yes.
but I've never seen myself as the, or wanting to be the perfect, because that comes with a lot.
Mm-hmm.
The people that work out 3 times a day, every single day a week, really restrict themselves and just salad, which is really not how you lose weight. You don't lose weight by salad. You have to eat a complete meal. But those people, they suffer internally,
Yeah.
and they don't show that. They may have these, renowned businesses, or at every conference or seminar, but internally, mentally, they're suffering, because you have to keep this image. But wellness is about the ups and downs. It's about the ups and downs and how you respond. I always say that, go back to how you respond to, I don't like to say failures, um because it's a journey, like you say.
Yeah. Definitely never failures. It's a
Mm-mm.
lesson learned because you're
Correct.
always learning.
Always learning. Always learning.
So, and I know we left the sugar conversation, but I want to share this because I think it's really important to show how sugar mess with your brain. And it only came up because you talked about the brain and sugar.
Mm-hmm.
So they did a study on rats, right? There was
Mm-hmm.
this one rat they dropped in a normal rat. They didn't put any sugar in his body, nothing. So they dropped him in a little bucket of water, which had a thing like a rock to so you could
Mm-hmm.
get out and catch yourself.
Yeah.
So the rat that didn't have any sugar instantly used instinct and went to the rock, swam to the rock. And then the other rat that had the sugar, he just stayed floating around, trying to find a rock, can't find a rock.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing he did. It took him longer than the rat that was using
I
instinct,
know.
had no
Wow.
sugar. So to show you how mentally messed up and not mentally
Mhm.
messed up, but the mental
Confused.
impact that sugar has
Yeah.
on the brain is
Mm-hmm.
very interesting when I saw that video.
It's
So
actually linked to dementia and Alzheimer's, and numerous of diseases. Diabetes is not the only one.
yeah.
So yeah, that's an interesting study. I've never heard of that
Yeah, it was a
research.
video I was watching on I think it was somewhere. I don't remember, but
Mhm.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, that's interesting. But that confirms. Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me more about like you got into the fitness space,
Mm-hmm.
but you're on your journey, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how is it dealing with the opportunity to jump off and leave your job and stay and build your business or staying in your job? How does that work for you? What has that come to?
So, can you clarify your question when you
Yes,
say okay?
definitely. You know, like some entrepreneurs, they jump out their job, they can work on their business.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel managing both? And what can you tell people that are starting a business about doing both until you make it?
Right. Okay. So I must say it's not easy. And as cliche as it is, it's not easy, because having your own business is 24/7. Um, and again, I'm still in the beginning stages, have not launched, but it's like you have to create content, you have to create waivers, you have to have the liability, you have to have a space if that's what you want to do. I do want to open a gym one day, but that takes a lot of prep. My advice to people that are working a 9 to 5 and want to have a business, um do your business part-time first. Most definitely, do not leave stability. I'm not going to say that you won't be stable in your entrepreneurship journey. However, you don't want to quit, and you don't have the resources or the stability yet, because that's setting yourself up for that failure that we talked about. um Most days it's hard, because sometimes you don't feel like or have the energy after a 9 to 5 to work your business, right?
Hmm.
However, people are depending on you and you're depending on you. So you have to really show up for yourself. So I would say set small goals, or SMART goals in healthcare, as we call it. Okay, it has to be attainable, it has to have a time. You want to track those goals. And I'm not just talking about your parents. We're talking about, okay, in 2 weeks, I want to be able to have 50 followers. Okay, how am I going to get 50 followers? What type of content am I going to post? Things like that. I'm not a big content creator. I want to get into it, and that's why I kind of film some things. Of course, I get my participants permission before I film anything, but I don't do it. I don't want to be the greatest and or the most popular, I should say. I want to be great. Don't get that wrong. I don't want to be the most popular group fitness instructor. You know how they have those social media people like, "Oh yeah, have you gone to such and such class?" Like, I don't have to be there. I just want to inspire people. That's as genuine as it could be. That's all I want to do. I don't have to be the greatest. I don't have to, I know that I can make a lot of money off of it, but that's not what this is for. Sweat Pro Athletics is not to make a lot of money off of it. It's a craft.
Wow.
So if you want to build your craft and you have a 9 to 5, you have to put the work in by setting small goals, and don't think that everything happens overnight. And I think a lot of people get a business idea and they hit the ground running, and then guess what they do? They firehouse. So, oh, I want to do this, I got to do this, I got to do that, and then guess what? They're left with goals unmet.
Mm-hmm.
They're left with goals unmet. So you have to take your time. It takes prep, it takes practice, it takes consulting other people that have businesses. So that's another advice. Talk to someone that has a well-established business, and know that you may have to have a backup plan, a plan B, a plan C. You have to. So those are my tidbits.
Thank you for sharing those, because
Mhm.
it's you. I saw a video online, not a video, and a lot of stuff I watch, I learn, I read, and there was this person, this lady, I don't know, she had a big following, and I just
Mhm.
glimpsed it at the moment. I didn't go through, see who the person is, or did any more research. And
Mhm.
I guess she told people to not quit their jobs, go ahead and continue working in their jobs while you build your business. And the whole internet went into uproar. I don't know if you've seen that post. You know who
I
that is?
haven't seen it, but I can see why. I can see why they would go in uproar. Because then your business would just be a part-time hobby if you
Yeah.
continue doing that. But I always say start there, but don't get dependent on the 9 to 5. If you really want to be an entrepreneur, you have to take a risk. Business owners take a risk every day. You may not make the money that you put in, you might not make that back right now, but you have to invest. You have to invest.
So, what has been the moment that inspire you or helps you keep going with Sweat Pro Athletics? Because you know it's challenging. So, what
Mhm.
pushes you and motivates you to keep going?
It's definitely my participants. Definitely my participants, the feedback. Now, even if I didn't get good feedback, I would still go because it's something that I put my mind to, and as a Scorpio, I I gotta go for what I want, and I have to see it to the end. I am not someone who starts something and not finish. I have to finish. But I must say my participants, I deal with seniors in the morning before work, and then I have my younger crowd in the evenings, and they love working out with me. It doesn't matter how I look, it doesn't matter what we're working on. They're like, "Are you coming back?" I don't stop. So that really pushes me. And then another thing that pushes me is my support system. My mom, my guy friend, my best friends, they are, and even you guys, like you in my Sammy's my friend. So you guys push me because you're like, hey, I want you on this podcast. You and Tony hit me up like, I'm nominating you. So it's like, me? Who am I? So you guys definitely push me to keep going. The moment that I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take a back step. Like, I'm supposed to be doing this launch. I won't spoil yet because you can't tell everybody your secrets,
Yeah.
but something is coming, and I was supposed to do it this fall, and I put a pause on there, but I have to keep going. I have to see it through.
Yeah.
So.
And
Mhm.
Tony's words is iron sharpen iron. So it
Mhm.
and that's why they say it's most important for you to have a circle that will elevate you and believe in you.
Mhm.
Because if you're hanging around people that's not driven, not going where you want to be,
Yep.
you're gonna be right there with them. But the ones
Mm-hmm.
that get your circle, your circle is important. They say
Mm-hmm.
your five closest friends will help you get to your next level.
Yes. Yep. And my thing is, you pour into your friends, and you keep those that pour back into you around.
Yeah.
Because on the days you don't feel like doing it, they're gonna be there like, hey, Chanel, hey, Sammy, where's that video? Where's that class? Where can they find you? What's your social media? Like, those are the people that genuinely care and they want to see
Yeah.
you succeed. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Then one of the biggest things that I've been, because I was reflecting this morning before this,
Mm-hmm.
and what I learned is that on your journey to success, you're gonna have the person that's way ahead of you,
Mm-hmm.
that's pulling you up, that's giving you advice, that's telling you what to do. You're gonna have the person that's right there next to you, that's motivating you, telling you, "Hey, look, we could do this and this and this and this and that," and just to get you keep going. And then you're gonna have the person that's 2 to 3 steps behind you, that you're also trying to lift up and bring with you on your journey. And that was profound to me because I was just like, in my life right now, I could see that happening. I could see the
Yeah.
person that's a couple steps ahead of me and the person
Mm-hmm.
that's right next to me, that we're pushing each other up, and the person that I'm actually like, come on, you got this. You see them
Yeah,
out here, you got it. Let's go. So just entrepreneurship and growing is a journey.
it is.
It's a powerful journey once you get around the people that sees
Mhm.
your work.
And even if you don't have a circle, or if you haven't found your circle yet, you have to find it in you to self propel. What makes you operate at your highest peak? What doesn't? So you kind of have to let people go. You have to let habits go. Um, it's definitely a journey.
Yeah.
Some days you may feel alone, and it's like, who's gonna help me do this? Who can I ask that? You have to, like you say, reflect, and you self internalize. What do I want? What do I want my image to look like? What do I
Mhm.
want my business to look like? Only you can determine that and execute it. Those people in your circle support you, but they're not going to help you execute how you want your business to operate.
Yeah. And then in the
Mhm.
moment, it's the when you're having those moments of not feeling like it or not doing it, you will get that one message from somebody that was just like, "Hey, look, what's going on? You inspired me. Thank you for doing this." Because I can't count on my fingers like how many times where I was about to just not do something, whether it's post a video, whether it's something.
Mhm.
This I haven't like stopped because I know like
Right.
this has to keep going. But
Yep.
in those moments, I get a message, "Hey, thank you for this. You inspired me," or "Thank you for that.
Mhm.
Thank you for running because now I'm running." So those little messages will keep you
Yep.
going on the
Yes.
times that it feels tough and you can't get through.
And they're always right on time.
Yeah.
Always right on time.
So where do you think you get that drive, that motivation, that never quit mindset from?
That's a very good question. As simple as it is, it's I definitely am a self-propelled person. So it does come from within.
Yeah.
Um and I don't look at another person's journey and say I want to be like them, because you don't know how they got there, how long it took. And I get to where I want to be by knowing what I want to be. What am I trying to portray? What does the business stand on? What is the mission? What is the goal? Right. And I take that and I use that as my fuel. So if you always keep your goal in mind, that's how you get to where you want to be. Hmm.
And you alluded to it earlier a little bit. Just have a set goal, have a timeline, all that good stuff, SMART goals.
Smart goals, definitely.
So we have a few more questions before we wrap it up. But what are some books or things that you read to get you on your journey that help you get to where you are today?
So I am more of a YouTube video type person. I not a big reader, so I don't have any titles of books that I can recommend. I do want to get into reading. However, I would think of an area or topic, um, and you know what? Once I type in one, a lot just come to me, and I feel like the universe works in a very special way that once you start digging in that rabbit hole, everything just comes to you. So I would say listening to podcasts, listening to YouTube videos in the area that you're most interested in, or interested in learning. That's how I operate.
Okay.
That's my sense of inspiration.
YouTube University.
Yep, you can learn a lot.
Yeah.
You sure
Yeah.
can. Mhm.
So, has there ever been a moment while you were on this journey where you was like, I'm done. I can't do both. I'm giving it up. I'm just gonna throw in the towel.
No, there has never been a time that I've said that, but I do want to just do one. But that's because I just don't want to work a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
But I know how much work it takes to be a business owner.
Yeah.
Like I said, 24 hours, 365, because you have to answer to customers, clients, the
Mhm.
legal part of things, and things like that. I've been with my company, September 17th will be 8 years. And it's a really good corporate company, but
Yes.
I'm like, I feel like I belong somewhere else. So I use that as, okay, you can't stay stagnant. And that's why I choose to transition into my solely entrepreneurship tract, because where you're comfortable, that's where you're gonna stay. And you have to get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
But it's never been too hard when I'm like, I can't do both. I do both, and I think I do it pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Mhm.
So, what is something that you thought I would ask you and I didn't?
Mm, I could think of several things, but I would say that you didn't ask me what types of classes I teach or
So,
formats.
and that's a new question I'm trying out. So what
That's
are
a really
those
good one.
classes?
So I teach two formats. One is called Bodyworks. That's a full body strength training classes where you use weights, light to medium weights for toning, high repetitions, and medium light to medium weights. The next one is a Zumba or dance class,
Mhm.
typically Latin inspired. So we have bachata, merengue. I even throw in soca, Afrobeat. And then the other format that I teach with some other partners, Dougie from St. Thomas, we do a soca aerobics class. So that's primarily soca, high energy, high intensity, very much cardio based. So three formats. My favorite is strength training, body weights. As much as I love to dance, and as long as I've been dancing, I really enjoy teaching weights.
Okay. So a
Mhm.
little bit of weights, aerobics. Uh, that's cool. I like it. I like it. Which one's your favorite to teach?
The body works, which is the full body with weights. That's
Okay.
my favorite. Hmm.
So if someone's just starting out on their fitness journey and they want to start losing weight, what advice would you give them? Or what would you tell them?
So my advice would be alternative swapping with food. So if you see that you have a habit of eating potato chips, you may say, what can I do in replace of that? So first, you would limit how much you have the potato chips, because I think going cold turkey doesn't work for everybody, um, and that's with any habit. But say you like potato chips, you may want to take a sweet potato and air fry those, or you can even fry it in regular oil because you want to start small, right? So you
Yeah.
could keep the frying and then use sea salt on top, and you have a potato chip. I'm not going to tell you to go fry vegetables because that's not realistic. People aren't going to like that. But so my thing is, find things that replace the things that you like the most. That's keeping you back. So
Okay.
like for me was the sweets. I started making these cashew milk vegan cheesecakes. No bake. My base was like dates and walnuts as the crust, so it's not a carb. And then I had the cashew milk with your vanilla essence, your sea salt, some dates for sweetness, and you pop it in the freezer in the little muffin things, and that was my sweet treat. And I found that I started to enjoy new foods. I started making pizza out of broccoli, like seriously, and it
How
was
was that?
filling. So you have to dehydrate the broccoli and you put
Okay.
a little bit of cheese for it to bind as your binding source. Pop it in the oven, and then you can still put your pizza sauce and things like that. I don't eat as strict as that, but that's what worked for me, is swapping, food swapping.
That's good. That's a good
Mhm.
idea to start
Healthy
because
alternatives.
some people think we gotta jump in the fire and just go hard every week, but it's so simple, like taking a small step. And
Slow and
those
steady.
small steps lead to the big goals.
Yep. Slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah.
And I'm proud to say that at my last doctor visit, and I'll talk about that next, is I've lost 18 pounds since my last visit. And now
Congrats.
somebody could thank you. You could lose 18 pounds in 3 months,
Yeah.
which is quicker than a year, but you're able to keep it off when you're slow and steady because you're consistent.
Yeah.
You're consistent. And back to the doctor part, I tell people it's not always how you look. Yes, you want to be physically fit, but how are your labs? Are you going to the doctor? Are you getting your annual checkups? Because there's so much about our body
Hmm.
that can tell us a lot about ourselves and our health.
Okay. So, what would you say about the doctor and recommending people to always check? How often do you go?
So I always keep up with my annual checkups. I'm not a hypochondriac, so any little pain, I'm not at the doctor. But if you feel something that's strange in
Yes.
your heart, in your back, I don't know if people know the um, signs and symptoms of heart attacks. You may have a radiating pain, and I'm not no doctor. I'm not a doctor, but I do have medical experience. If you
Yes.
have a radiating pain coming up your shoulder and your back, usually those are signs. If you have high blood pressure, that's a sign. Those are things that you want to tackle and get under control. Your sugar levels and your blood pressure. Those are things that you can check at your local pharmacy, right?
Yeah.
But at the doctor, get your labs, your full blood count, your white blood count cells, your liver, all those things that they check for, your platelets, it's a lot of things. You just want to get your annual blood work done. And
I
then
gotta
in
work on that.
between, yeah, yeah, you have to. You have to, because it tells you it's a full picture of your health,
Yeah.
and you can see what you can work on from there. And then you see how you progress when you go back every year. In between, if you're sick and you must go, I don't go to the doctor if I have a cold, but if you are sick and you feel like you need to see a doctor, always go. Don't be afraid to go.
Nice.
Because your body sends you signals. It does.
So eat clean. Make sure you get those the doctor checkups done.
Labs. Yep.
Also get those workouts in.
Yep. That sums it up. That sums it up.
So how could someone that wants to connect with you get in contact with you? Say they saw this episode and they love you, they want to connect with you. How can they connect with you?
Okay, so they can connect on me with my business Instagram page, and it's Sweat Pro Athletics LLC. Okay, I said that a little slow. But yeah, Sweat Pro Athletics LLC. I don't have a website at this time, unfortunately. But the services I offer, you can contract me for your business if you have a set of employees and you want to include employee health. I can provide virtual group fitness training, or whatever state you're in, we can work on something, because that's entrepreneurship, right? We can travel. So if you're ever in the need of just starting somewhere, definitely contact me and we can see what
Nice.
we can do.
And what's some last minute advice you would give to anyone watching this episode?
Just get started. Just get started with your wellness. It's never too late. You can't say, oh, well, I'm already 600 pounds, which I know you're not. it's never too late to get started.
Yeah.
Small, slow, and steady. That's my advice. Small, slow, and steady.
Thank you. So,
Mhm.
Shan, I want to thank you for coming on here, sharing your knowledge, sharing your expertise, and just inspiring people to have a healthy lifestyle, fitness, working out, and getting their bodies checked out. I want to
Mhm.
thank you for that. So, guys, everyone, thank you for tuning in. If you still haven't got your Be Inspired merch yet, go ahead and click the link below. It's down there. And if Chanel told you or said anything that resonates with you, go ahead and comment, connect with her, like her Instagram, and share what resonate most with you on this video. All right.
Thank you.
Hang on. I was looking for the chat because last week we had some questions in the chat.
Oh yeah, I saw some questions in the chat. I wonder if I can see.
Let me see in the chat. Where is it? Nope. Okay, here we go. Can't find the chat today.
I clicked on the
You got
chat.
it? You see it?
I don't see. Let me see studio chat.
I see it says chat messages, but I can't see it.
Oh, I don't see any. Whisper backstage.
Right. I butchered the chat this week. But anyways, since we don't have a question, I can't figure out the chat technical difficulties. However, I'll make sure I get that fixed. But thank you all for watching, and we're gonna see everyone on the next episode of the Inspired Podcast, where we're inspiring you to live the abundant life you deserve. See you next week.
See ya.